What's up, everybody? Welcome to General Hospital Envy, my GH after show. It has been a minute since I've done these regular Sunday shows. My allergies have been kicking my ass this spring. But on Wednesdays on the Dion's Corner channel, I've been doing a live version of the recaps just to make up for it. So if you guys are watching from the Envy01 channel, head on over to the Dion's Corner channel so you don't miss a thing. Plus, usually on Wednesdays, we watch some classic episodes of GH as well, so tune in for that. Alright, let's get into it, because this week was hella messy. As you guys know, the trial between Michael and Willow and Nina got pretty ugly the previous week. Scott was trying to paint Michael as this woman abuser. He brings up Claudia Zakara, and how Nell was just trying to protect Wiley from him. And it totally backfired. Willow confronted Nina on sicking her lawyer after Michael's character and accused her of trying to redeem Nell. Nina then asks Willow if she thinks that people are born bad, and Willow says, well, the apple didn't fall far from that tree for you. Ooh girl, be careful. Nina then says if only Harmony had told you who your real mother is, and of course, Carly overheard that part and decides to run over to GH to go and get the test results, even though the trial was continuing on. Diane asks Willow on the stand why she thinks Nina shouldn't deserve to see Wiley, and she simply states that DNA doesn't automatically get you permission to see someone. She then mentions how Nina hid Sunny from the whole family, and how she broke up Sunny and Carly's marriage, and how she got Scott to trash Michael's character without a second thought to Wiley for any of that. At this point, Nina clearly knew that if she got Scott to cross-examine Willow, it would only prove Willow's point even further. Carly gets back from the hospital just in time to hear the verdict come in, and of course the judge sided in Michael and Willow's favor. I can't believe that Nina actually thought she had a chance. She literally begged Michael and Willow to reconsider, and they're like, hell no. Now at this point, Carly had already learned that Willow is in fact Nina's daughter, but she tries to test out the waters to see how Willow feels about Nina ever seeing her again, and if she regrets anything, and Willow's like, hell no, I hate that woman. And because of that, Carly feels justified in not telling Willow anything about Nina being her mom. Now Drew had actually popped into the courtroom and heard that conversation happening, and he looks over at Carly. Carly just shakes her head no, and then she pulls him aside a little bit later and tells him that Nina isn't Willow's mom. You know, if this was Jason, he wouldn't have bought that for a second. He'd be asking to see the DNA results himself. But Drew didn't even do that. Hopefully Drew gets suspicious at some point though. Oh, by the way, I should mention that there was actually a stand-in for Michael this week. Chad unfortunately tested positive for COVID, so he has to sit out a few episodes, but I'm sure he'll be back soon. Alright, we gotta talk about Terry and Chet. I did talk about it during the live stream, but we'll talk about it here too. Basically, Amy got Chet a job offer in Chicago to try and get Chet and Terry away from each other, but then she felt guilty and confessed to what she did. However, Chet and Terry had a conversation, and Terry tried to persuade him to go and take the job, and he actually does take the job, and there we have it, folks. That is the end of Terry and Chet. Now, in all fairness, this is only because the actor that plays Chet actually moved out of California, so it's not because the writers didn't want this, it's because the actor moved. But it sucks! Those two sparkled with potential. I'm so upset about it. Hopefully they find a new love interest for Terry soon though. Now Terry's co-chief of staff Britt might have better luck in that department, not that you would know it if you watched from the beginning of the week. The MetroCorp pool is back in full swing. There was this singles event there that doubled as a charity event, and Britt decided to attend to put herself out there and mingle with the other singles. However, the only way that she felt that she could do that was to get absolutely smashed, totally freaking drunk. Terry showed up to be her wingman, and Brad of course was there too, and even Drew was there for a bit before Britt got drunk. He was the one that encouraged Britt to stay and mingle. Once Britt drank herself silly, she got the whole venue's attention and talked about how much love sucks. By the way, I should mention that a lot of people that we know from Port Charles were there. Dante and Sam, Maxie and Austin, Brooklyn and Chase, you know, all the couples just attending a singles event for charity. Spinelli was there too. He's clearly up to his neck in this dating app thing, and he's trying to hide it from everyone. Sam can see through it, and she's begging him to tell her the truth, but he's just staying zip-lipped about it for whatever reason. Now, something I didn't realize until this episode was that the MetroCorp pool is actually on the roof of the MetroCorp. Like, there's no, it's just sky above the pool. I guess it just has really large walls. Now the reason why I'm bringing that up is because while Britt was on her rant about how much love sucks, there's a noise and everyone's kind of looking up, and then in flies a parachuter and he crashes into Britt and they both fall into the pool. The guy's name is Cody, and apparently he's a childhood friend of Dante's. Britt wanted his ass arrested. Not that I blame her, I mean it's a humiliating situation and she really could have gotten hurt. But can we talk about how Brad's instinct as her best friend was to record her from the time that she was ranting to the time that she got knocked into the pool to the time that she got out. What a good friend, Brad. She's probably gonna go viral after this too. But yeah, wouldn't it be a classic soap move if the love of Britt's life happened to crash through a window and land into her lap? If that doesn't happen, I would actually be shocked. Dante and Sam get Cody out of there and they put him in handcuffs just so Britt stays calm, but Dante had no intention of actually hauling him into the station. Instead, the three of them go to Charlie's to have a beer. Now they have a bit of a catch up, and from what I could tell, Dante and Cody clearly had a bit of a mischievous friendship in their day, but there was an underlying sort of vibe that they might have done something even more sinister that Dante doesn't want to get out. Sam was making conversation with Cody and asking him questions and asked if he'd ever want to settle down because she might have a job offer for him if he's wanting it, because she found out that he likes horses and that he used to work at a ranch, and I think she offered, was it the Quartermains Ranch or Cassadines? I can't remember. Anyway, Dante just kind of steps in and he's like, no, like this guy's a bit of a drifter. He likes to travel everywhere. He's not going to stay anywhere. Right, Cody? And Cody's like, yeah, right. I do like that we're getting more backstory for Dante because we really don't know too much about his life before Port Charles. I mean, we know he was a mama's boy growing up. We know he knew Brooklyn and the Sorellos. And we know in 2007 he kept a secret for Brenda before he even knew that Sonny was his father. But that's pretty much it. Stick around, Cody. You might just make Dante a little more interesting finally. Plus, Cody's kind of hot. And speaking of hot, where is Dex? Where did he go? That man just vanished into thin air. Alright, let's talk about Brooke and Chase. They were at odds the previous week because Brooklyn wanted him to do something illegal to bring down Link. And of course, Chase had to turn her down because he's on the verge of getting his job back. But the two of them couldn't stay away from each other for too long, and they work on a compromise. Chase says that he will help her bring Link down by digging up dirt on him. I guess I'm here for it. I mean, I love Brooklyn and Chase. I just think that the Link thing is overplayed already, and I'm just kind of over it. But if this brings them together, then I'm here for it. Anna and Valentine had scenes this week at a gun range. They challenged each other to a duel of sorts, and basically, the person that gets the most shots on the target wins. Valentine says if he wins, she has to go to dinner with him. Anna doesn't tell him what he will win until, of course, she wins because she's Anna Devane, and she always wins. Her prize for him is taking her out, so it's the same thing basically. However, when Anna leaves, Valentine gets a call from Victor, so I'm assuming he's not gonna go. Alright, let's talk about Trina because this girl is ready to have herself a hot girl summer with Rory. They had a day out on the town together, and Rory walked her back to her house, and of course, Taggart and Portia were there, and Taggart went into full-on dad mode with him. It was pretty funny to watch, I'm not gonna lie, it was funny to watch him interrogate Rory. Taggart even graciously walked him out of the house and left with him. Truthfully, I'm pretty sure Portia doesn't care who she dates as long as it's not Spencer, but she's clearly happy for her daughter. Now personally, I'm kind of on the fence with the couple, partially because you guys know that I've not been a big fan of Rory to begin with. I mean, I've always felt that there's not much to his character, although he is getting a bit more of a personality now that he's warmed up a bit, but he just doesn't do a whole lot for me. And now there's just this underlying backstage situation that involves the actor that plays Rory and some old tweets involving racism. So, if you know, you know, but you guys can look into that yourselves. I already stated my opinion on that in the live stream, so we're just gonna move on. Lastly, we gotta talk about Nikolas Cassadine, cause man, this guy, what a mess. What a mess he got himself into this week. Nikolas and Ava had gotten into a pretty big fight, and Nikolas really thought his marriage was over, and Spencer blew up at Esme because he couldn't keep his cool when she was bringing up Trina, and he stormed off, and so that left Nikolas and Esme to lick each other's wounds, and I wish that I meant that only metaphorically. Those two grabbed some booze, and then they made out, and then they had sex. Nikolas had sex with his son's girlfriend. You know, I had a tiny bit of shred of hope that Nikolas was playing Esme. Turns out he's just bloody stupid. Spencer and Ava actually got pretty close to catching Nikolas and Esme in the act, but alas they didn't. Earlier in the week, Laura had a conversation with Ava that actually persuaded her to try again with Nikolas. And Spencer got a good stern talking to from Cameron because Cameron's fed up on having to keep the secret from Jocelyn. And he says, if you don't do anything about this tonight, I will tell Jocelyn the whole truth. Ava goes into the room where Nikolas and Esme just had sex to talk to Nikolas about how she wants to work things out for him. Esme had ran onto the parapet in her underwear to hide, and she accidentally dropped her shoe. It was actually an accident, and Ava heard the noise, but Nikolas was like, oh no, it's just the bats. They tend to eat up there this time of night. Okay, Nick, nice try. Once Nikolas and Ava leave, Esme goes downstairs and she runs into Spencer, and they have a conversation, and he apologizes and says that he really wants to try for her, and she, of course, forgives him, even though she's clearly just playing him. Naturally, when Nikolas and Esme have a moment alone together, they agree that they should never talk about this ever again. You know she will. Naturally, when Nikolas and Esme are alone again, they agree to not tell a soul about this ever happening, but you know that Esme is going to one day use this as blackmail material because that's just who she is. But here is my prediction. I think that Esme is going to get pregnant with Nikolas's child. I just know it's gonna happen. And it's going to play out one of two ways. Spencer is going to find out that Esme cheated on him with someone, or Spencer is going to take one for the team and have sex with Esme just to keep up the charade, and she's going to try to pass off that baby as his, and Nikolas is going to be worried that he's the father, which he probably will be. And eventually when the secret comes out, we're going to be into a non-stop baby saga, just like the Wiley one we've been sitting through for years now. Helena at this point is either rolling in her grave or laughing her ass off at the predicament Nikolas has gotten himself into, since he's the one that killed her in the first place. Anyway, those were my thoughts and feelings on this week's General Hospital. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. And if you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, I'd really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.